My dogs are both asleep, so this can actually go forward without any interruption.
Let's go. And baby Bob
That's
is
right.
at bananas, so we are clear.
See you, baby Bob. Cam Smith signs at least $100 million deal with Liv. Football's back. Thank the Lord. And for all that is holy, please stop swinging fast. My name is Jackson Taylor. I'm joined by Dr. Tim Rivotto. And welcome to the Golf Strong Project.
Welcome. Welcome back. It's exciting. After a little hiatus for the summer, we are back in action.
Yee. Yeah, we had a little break. We've been working on some stuff. You know, I've been getting some things ready. Tim's getting some things ready. You know, there may be some cool stuff coming out in the future. You'll find out. You'll find out. But it doesn't matter because life is good. Everything's happening. And here we are. So let's get into this. Officially, sort of. It's been official apparently for a little while now. It was expected domino. Cam Smith, Travelers champion, Open champion, has signed $100 million plus. They haven't given us the over the top. I've heard 120. I've heard 150 $1 million deal with Liv Golf, and his first tournament would be the Boston one in your neck of the woods, the 2nd to the 4th. He didn't want to make remarks about it yesterday. He was like, "I'm just worried about winning the FedEx right now." Like he didn't comment on it. He just said, "You know, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm just here to win the playoff."
Yeah, which I think is totally fair. A lot of people were a little kind of irritated, it seemed like yesterday. Like, hey, why doesn't he just make a decision and say whether he's going or not? We kind of know he's going, and he should just go if he's going. And it's like, well, he played all year. Like, he played, I don't know how many tournaments he played. He played at least 20 tournaments this summer.
For sure.
You know, like, he's earned his points. He's won a bunch of big tournaments. I think he deserves
two of the
shot.
biggest. Two of the big five.
Convincingly, too.
Yeah, it's not two of the big five. So,
question, I haven't looked. When does the FedEx Cup finish? It finishes before Labor Day? Because it used to go through it, but it's an early finish now.
Before.
Okay.
So they finish, and then Greg Norman was like knife back twist. The next weekend, they have a tournament in Boston.
Yeah, at a sick course. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's definitely not. It's not Boston, but you can call it that if you want.
It says Boston. I have no idea. I didn't see where it was.
Yeah, it's at the International, which is out in like Bolton or something. It's like Worcester, north of Worcester. It's middle of fucking nowhere, but a beautiful golf course.
That's fantastic. It'll draw a few people. Tell you what, Cam Smith's there. You're getting folks showing up.
Oh man, absolutely.
You know, you had some names, but like he's not a name. He's the household name, really, with the exception of in terms of young guys besides Scotty right now.
Yeah, and Rory is a big name, but he has been. But so that's kind of like the overarching name that has been there. But yeah, he's like, I mean, all the kid at the Open, all the kids were following around Brookline. He had a huge crew on the practice rounds.
Yeah, yes, it's a huge commitment. I personally, I think the PGA is in some trouble. I don't know what they're going to do right now because I see this going downhill from here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the question for me at this point is are they trying to plan something after this season's done where they might try to take some sort of legal action against Liv? Like, I don't think they have much of a case. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but
what's the case going to be?
Exactly. I don't know. And
it's not like they poached players. They gave them more money and they took it.
Right. So it's like they're definitely a backs against the wall situation where they either, I don't know, they have to change something about the way they're doing business, or else I think they're just going to keep leaking.
Well, before the show, we had talked about how it was like their 2019 finances or something. Like they brought in a ton of money. And to your point, only like 10 to 12% of it actually went out to the players.
Exactly.
Versus every other pro sport, which it's like in the 40% range.
Exactly.
So you look at that and you're like, okay, well, maybe you've been able to get away with that for a little while, but now the Greg Normans of the world are like, screw it, money.
Yeah, especially when you're having things like, minimums and things like that. I think it's tough if you're asking people to play as often as they're playing. I mean, I don't remember what the minimum is. It's at least 20, I think, tournaments.
I think it's at least 20. Yeah.
It might be more than that. That's a lot. I mean, 20 weekends out of 52, that's almost half the weekends of the year.
Never mind practice.
Yeah.
Amateur, like the pro-am tournaments that these guys do, the President's Cup, the Ryder Cup. Like there's a lot of little things that pop up that also take up time.
Right. And I think what we're seeing, like the big names, like Cam Smith is going to make his money, whether he's on the PGA Tour, the Live Tour, whether he's playing in, the middle of the bush in Australia, he's going to make his money, right? All the top guys are going to make their money wherever they are. I think what the PGA is going to have to figure out is, like, if you have some of these hot young studs on the Korn Ferry Tour coming up and seeing that they could win 4 million if they just, jump on the right team, or they could win like 1.5 million just for being on the right team. That's enticing, especially when you're grinding like Monday qualifier, make the tournament, have to play, a pro-am 4-day tournament if you make a cut, get wherever the hell you got to get for the next Monday qualifier. Like, that is an absolute grind.
That's a sad, yeah. And first of all, if right now somebody offers you $4 million to go play Live, and that's on the low end of what people are getting offered, people are going to take it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my contracted money, and then I make money with my team win and all the other perks, incentives that they get. People are going to take that all day, every day, twice on Sunday. It makes sense. I get it. The only thing that Live is going to have to figure out is that their name is built around playing 54 holes.
Right.
It is not exciting golf.
No, and that's going to be the biggest attack, right? Is like, well, it's exciting, it's fun, but it's not serious championship golf.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel that way. I mean, the tournaments that I've seen so far, I've been like, now part of that's because the only people you care to watch are Bryson Koepka and DJ.
Yeah.
I don't get Lefty. Isn't fun to watch. He's just, and dude. Have you seen him recently? He looks. Oh, dude.
He's wearing it. He's wearing it almost
fire.
he's wearing it almost like when, like, the sitting president leaves the office and they're all gray and they're bald and they just look weathered. They look like 20 years older after 4 years. He's got that look where he's just like, he's battered.
Yeah. But at least he has his memory.
He does have his memory. That's true. He can put his suit jacket on too.
But you're right, dude. He looks like he's like been on heroin and he's just getting off of coke, and he's got like an alcohol problem. His wife's beating him every night. Like, he looks bad, dude. Like, he looks bad. I feel bad for him. Like, I mean, sort of. A part of me is kind of like, hey, like, I empathize for the guy a little bit, because everyone's always like, oh, well, he's made all this money and blah, blah. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, money's great, but that doesn't necessarily solve like some kind of brokenness that you have at a human level. Just means you have a lot of money.
No, you don't want anyone to fail and, like, be in crazy despair in their life. But at the same time, he kind of made his bed, and now he's got to sleep in it and figure out a way to wake up and, get off to work the next day. He's just stuck in bed right now. He's
sleeping in a $100 million bed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not a bad bed. Egyptian
cotton. It's like 6,000 thread count. It's not even. They don't even make that. But it's true. I don't know. I think the PGA is in a little bit of trouble. I think they've got a PR problem. I think they've got people jumping ship on them. When you have athletes like this that are like, hey, I'm going to go where the money is. I'm going to make a business decision. And I feel like you've kind of screwed us in some way or another. It's not just that they're leaving for money.
Right.
They get to play less tournaments per year. I think next year Liv said they're going to 16 tournaments. Is that right?
Yeah, I think from 8 or 9 this year to 16.
8 to 16, and the purse goes out. It was like $480 million purse or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. But nonetheless, they're going to that. So it's just going to be an attractive thing. The only question for me is the layout. I feel like there's got to be something, because again, Cam Smith and a lot of these guys don't win tournaments until that fourth day. It's getting through 1, 2, and 3 Day 4, all of a
Right.
sudden, somebody who was 8 back comes back to win. You could make the argument, well, it's the same thing. It just happens from day 2 to day 3.
Right.
But you kind of want to see people have to go through that rigor because that's what the sport has dictated for a gajillion years.
Well, yeah, pressure golf is totally different than casual
Totally
golf.
different.
Like
Yeah.
you even if you just have a $5 Nassau with your buddies, like the pressure golf changes the dynamic very quickly,
For
and
sure.
you definitely lose. So you lose the fourth day. You also, with the team aspect, you could play like dog shit. Like Sergio has not played well.
Yeah.
He's been on the winning team a couple times though, so he's made some money. So it's like, I could just kind of skate on by. Now they're gonna. It sounds like they're gonna relegate people and that sort of thing. So they should keep that
Yeah.
in check.
Yeah.
But you question how much, like, if you know, like I just show up and play 3 days, I'm gonna make 500K. I'll show up.
Yeah. There has
You
to
know.
be some way that there is you're getting bumped. Somebody else is
Yeah.
getting bumped up. Like I almost see there being like live and live two,
Yeah.
like a varsity and a JV team.
Yeah.
And you can work your way up or work your way down. Like you go down, you make less money. You go up, you make more money.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can keep the 54 hole setup. Maybe that's what
I
they
don't
want to
either.
do. I don't mind the team component, to be honest. Like I kind of
Yeah.
like I love the Ryder Cup is too much fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
is fabulous. It's a different layout, obviously, because it's mano a mano for those holes, but that's an attractive thing because it makes golf seem like a team sport, but there's still the individual component to it. But I
Right.
don't know if 3 days is going to be the right answer.
Yeah. And I think ultimately they have to go to like maybe a yearly draft versus a weekly draft, because the weekly draft is just way too hard to follow. Like
I
who's on
agree.
what team this week playing with
Yeah.
whom? It's like, I don't know. If I could get on a team and I know, like, all right, DJ Kepka and 2 up and comers are on the Aces, and that's my team for the year, I can get more on board with that versus just shuffling the deck every week.
Yeah. It also makes
You know?
betting that much more interesting. Like the beginning of
Yeah.
the year, you're like, hey, I'm taking the Aces money line to win, the live
Yeah.
tournament this year. That's attractive to people.
Yeah. It
I
is.
don't care what anybody says. That's going to be a big thing that people love. Just there's already a ton of money in this. That's only going to make it more money.
Oh yeah.
The minute that there's a TV contract signed,
Oh yeah. Big time.
which I think is coming. I think is coming. Which leads me to my question. So we're going to do this new thing on here, which I'm excited about. This is like stolen, but we're doing the golf version. It's going to be called layup or hit bombs, which is basically our version of punt or go, right? So layup, you're punting. Hit bombs, we're going, right? Tim, layup or hit bombs. At the end of this FedEx Cup playoff, 5 more of the top 30 players will be in playing and live.
I think that's drop bombs. Drop bombs.
Dude. Who? Give me a couple names. Give me some guys
Dude,
you're like, I think they're going.
It's so I mean, Cam Smith is the obvious, right?
Well, he's
I don't
gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who's in the top 30. Hold on. I should
I'm
have
gonna
I
get
should have
it.
prepared better. Let me pull up the top 30.
All right. Top 30 FedEx Cup standings right now.
Apparently
All right,
Leash
Leishman
is
apparently is
going.
gone, but
He's
he's
not top 30.
He's kind of like your Sergios and
So I could see
okay.
I could see Hovland.
Yes.
I could see Sam Burns.
Yeah.
I could see Cam Young.
Oh, I think
I
Cam Young's taking that bag.
I could see Answer. So there's 4 for you.
I thought
And
Answer was gone. Didn't Answer go already?
Oh, you know what? Answer's gone. You're right.
Answer's gone. Answer's
Is
gone.
he? Well, he's still listed in the FedEx Cups. Oh, all of them are though. Okay, all right, all of them are because Louis is still here. Who else is here? So if he's out, I got to go to like 40, 35 or 40. You see anyone else up here?
I'm looking right now. I got some dudes. I mean, I could see Finau taking a big bag. Got a couple of big wins recently.
Yeah.
Kim Young, to me, for sure. Guys like Max Homa.
What about like a Keegan Bradley? He's 43 in the world right now.
Yeah, Keegan Bradley, for sure. I could see Kisner going for that bag too. Why not?
Yeah, dude, he's kind of fading at the end of his career. He's still playing good golf. Go get it.
Yeah. I mean, dudes like Sahith Theegala,
yeah,
who's kind of a fun, like a crazy character. I could see him.
Yeah, I feel like he wants to get a PGA Tour win, though. I feel like he would be one where he would like want to get a win first. See,
Yeah,
that's the weird thing.
that's
The only thing that's got me thinking layup is you've got so the guys like Bubba and Phil,
they've
obviously,
got
and
huge wins already.
yeah, they've won majors. Like
Right.
their names are in the history books. They've won majors, so they're like, screw it, I'll just go and make some money before like while I can. I still have earning years, and you
Right.
don't have to play like the senior tour schedule, which is still pretty
Pretty rigorous.
intense. And they're gonna have to figure out because you're still gonna have young guys that want to win tournaments and like be in history books. But I could see them more doing the Cam Smith thing of like, all right, I won two, so all right, see you later. I'll make my money
See,
now.
but then I think of the guys like Hudson Swafford, Taylor Gooch.
Yeah, true. They're kind
You
of in
know,
that
like
position. You're right.
but the other way you could look at it is you're in the history books. You're just in a different part of the history.
Yeah,
You're in the beginning of a different part of a history book.
that's a fair point.
You
Yeah.
could look at it that way. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They get that thing rolling and hot. I'm with you. I think 5 dudes are gone. I mean, Cam's already one of them, but I
Yeah.
mean, I could easily see Cam Young. I mean, I don't care what he said. I could see Xander Schauffele. I could see Sam
I
Burns.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
100%.
Homa, Tom Hoagie.
Yep.
I don't know. Porschel has said he won't, but
The bag gets big enough. Who knows? He's
bag
just been
gets big.
so outspoken. It's like, it's
Yeah, that would be again. That would be the same thing as like Rory. It was like, yeah, I'll go, and everyone's like, whoa.
yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know, man. It's going to be something cool. To everyone listening, give us your feedback. What do you guys think? But I don't know. I think the PGA's in for a hurting, and they're going to have to make some changes because listen, all of a sudden, Live challenged them, and they just came up with an extra 50% more dollars to add to every tournament.
Yeah.
The players
Somehow.
went up 5 million. A couple of these other tournaments went from like 12 to 20 million.
Yeah.
Like you're just having like random 70% increases in your payouts. And you're telling me that that's just because the sponsors just shipped in a bunch of new money?
Yeah. No way.
I mean, maybe, but like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
if
It's a little far fetched.
all of a sudden you can add 8 tournaments with 20 something $million purses to each additional tournaments.
Right.
That's $160 million. Do you just like shit that out somewhere?
I don't know.
It's a little shady. It's a little shady.
It is.
Just
And
like
it's hard. It's so hard to get info because like you've got the Saudi element where they're pretty close to the chest. And then you've got the big news outlets for golf are basically Golf Channel and they're all PGA Tour entities. So it's like, it's tough. Like, where do you get the
The only places that I found it, you can go on to like, some of these different places like Outkick is going to
Mhm.
give you a pretty whatever, like even I think it's like Golf Weekly, and there's like
Oh,
Pro
yeah, they're
Golf
pretty
Weekly, like things that aren't necessarily under that umbrella where you can get some like both sides of it kind of stuff. Because a lot of it, like the lawyer stuff now, it's really hard to understand.
It
Like they're
is.
getting sued, and then it's complicated. It's very complicated. All that matters is that more golf is being played.
Yeah.
And hopefully it all works itself out. I usually like the capitalism side of this. We're like, hey, guess what? Compete. You guys compete, the product that we get gets better. My only hope is that it doesn't turn into like boxing, where there's like 6 federations and all of the good people are scattered to the winds. Like you can't have 2 NFLs. You don't have enough good players to make 2 NFLs.
No.
Right? Like you're already talking about a percentage of a percentage of a percentage making the pro leagues. Like, I don't want to watch a tournament where it's Cam Smith versus, Hudson Swafford every week. No
Right.
offense to Hudson Swafford. It's just the fact that they're in different echelons at the current juncture. That's why the first couple live tournaments are like, because
Right.
I want to see dudes like battling on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, like
Like,
the
it
open
was-
final. The open final is awesome. You have
Ken
what was
Young,
it?
Rory McIlroy, Cam Smith are just going ham.
Yeah, they're just going low. Everyone's making putts. It was just
Wild. At an impossible golf course.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious.
As long as we get more good golf, it's all good.
But more important than getting good golf, although we are golf people, we own golf companies, we help golf people get strong, get people hitting bombs, making more birdies, looking good while they do it. It is football season, baby. It's time.
Boy.
It is. I am so tired of just having baseball on at night, which I don't want to watch because the Red Sox make me want to jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to be seeing the Juan Sotos of the world with these $500 million contracts they're supposed to be getting. I'm over it. Other than that, it's like women's soccer and like underwater firefighting. And the other day on ESPN, they had corgi racing. Like,
yeah, dude. It's ESPN 8 the Ocho this week. They had I watched air hockey last night for like 20 minutes.
Hockey, like, don't get me wrong, some of it's great. Like the people doing like the soccer ping pong,
yeah,
and they're kicking it. Like, it's all good and well. Okay, it's great. I'm over it.
This guy needs some pigskin.
Football season starts now. I was watching preseason football last week because the Jaguars were playing the Raiders, and I just needed some football. It's a terrible game. It's awful to watch. I may live in Jacksonville, but golly, are they bad.
Rough.
Nonetheless, we're a little biased on here. Patriot fans. You don't like it?
Yeah.
Sucks to suck. Sucks to suck. Tomorrow night, Giants, Pats, preseason. I hear Mac might get like a series.
That'd be cool. I don't need him to play. That'd be cool. I'd like to see him sling some.
Thought I'd read that he was going to get about a series. You get to see some other, some of the receivers get some play. I mean, it's preseason, but it's football. Thank the Lord. So we've got 3 weeks, and college football starts 4 weeks. Pro football starts. I'm not going to go too crazy talking about football today, but I think we got to do a couple of things, right? Patriots division. Patriots right now, their over-under is 8.5 games. Win 8.5 games, right?
Really?
They're basically talking about them going 500 this year.
Wow.
Is the bet right now, 8.5 games, okay? So I want to go through their schedule, and I want to hear what you have to say about their games, okay? Because I'm curious where you're going to go with this, okay? So preseason games, we've got the Giants, we've got the Panthers, got the Raiders, okay? Week 1 at the Dolphins.
I mean, week 1 versus week 17, different, but week 1, I think win.
Okay. At the Steelers.
I mean, they're a dumpster fire, win.
Okay. Home against the Ravens.
That's tough, but that's first home game.
That's the first home game.
We could potentially take an L to Lamar coming home.
All right, we'll take an L there. At the Packers.
That could be an L.
It's a tough game. Okay. Home Lions.
Yeah, that's a W.
Dub. At the Browns.
I think close game, we win in the 2-minute drill because Belichick.
Love it. Also, screw the Browns. Deshaun Watson should not play football.
Hey. He only can use the team-issued massage therapist.
That doesn't scream that I have a problem or anything. Was it 60 massage therapists in like less than a year? Like
I think it was over 3 years. It was like 20 a year. All right.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like all of those in like 1 year.
Oh, well, that's a bad look.
Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. I don't care if it's 3 years, a year, or 6 months. No,
it's a terrible look when you have like I saw probably a dozen other players, retired or active, that were like, yeah, I've had 3 people massage my body in my entire 15-year career.
Yeah, and they were the same 3 folks.
Yeah.
Like this isn't, dude, crazy. First of all, I also think this is like some smoke and mirrors type nonsense because the NFL hires the lady, which basically comes out and said this is the most egregious thing ever in the history of the NFL. She gives them 6 games because historically the NFL has given people that have done heinous acts nothing. 6 games. Like at first, Ray Rice got 2 games for cold cocking some chick in an elevator.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Suggs has gotten off pouring acid on his a woman at the time.
Suggs. Yeah. I mean, who was it? Gregory, the dude from Gregory? Dude from the Cowboys. It was at like
he tries to
fifth
fight UFC now.
it was like his 5th or 6th domestic abuse thing, and was still playing in the NFL.
Terrible.
Like Brady got 4 games because allegedly there wasn't ball. Won't get into the science because the science weighs on the side of Tom Brady, but nonetheless, that's 4 games. So she did it based on that, and then the NFL gets to come in and look like a superhero, appealing the case. Oh no,
clean it up.
he should be gone for a year. He doesn't deserve to be here. God, I can't stand Roger Goodell.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
And he's the one who makes the ruling on, whether it has to be adjusted.
He gets to look like a superhero. Oh, we're going to give him a year because it's the right thing to do. First of all, no. The right thing to do is that he doesn't play football.
Correct.
These cases all settled.
Yeah, he paid a lot of money.
A lot of cash flow coming out of there to these people. Like, it'd be different if there was like 4 of them or 5 of them. I'd be like, okay, like again, you shouldn't be guilty unless it's been proven. Like, we have a justice system for a reason, although it's absolutely friggin' broken. Won't get into that. But nonetheless, like, if you didn't do it, you didn't do it. But 60 massages across, like, dude, that's just weird. Like, that makes you a weirdo.
It's weird. That's exactly it. That's the only argument there is. That is weird. Right. Whether you did it or not, that is weird.
And based on all the cases and what these women have said, like, listen.
Weird.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. Crazy. Done with the freaking dumpster fire.
Okay, so we're at 4 wins, 4-2.
We're 4-2 right now. Okay. Home against the Bears.
Yeah, that's a win.
God,
sorry, Bears.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. And their Roquan Smith, their best linebacker, was like, deuces, I'm out of here. I want to get traded. I hate this place. Yeah. Come to the Pats, baby. Come on. Come on. Go to the Jets to play the MILF Hunter.
Allegedly.
The alleged. Oh, it's too good. All right, so they're at the Jets against the Mormon.
I think they take him down.
All right. I like
Jets
it.
are a dumpster fire too.
There's a dub. Home against the Colts.
Colts could be riding like a midseason little heater. I could throw that one in the L column. I'd expect a win. I could see a loss.
Okay. Then we'll get the Jets at home.
That's usually a win coming home.
Okay. Like it. Go to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, the boys in the dome.
And apparently now that Zimmer gone?
I think so.
So now that Zimmer's gone, Kirk Cousins is going to be unleashed because he was handicapping Kirk Cousins. That's the story I heard.
Handicapping Kirk Cousins.
Is Kirk Cousins elite? That is the question.
He's not elite, but he's not. When I think of elite, I think of like the top 4 or 5 guys in the league. That's the end of the elite column.
So, in my opinion, you cannot be elite if your stats dwindle the later in the afternoon that you play. So his stats at like 8 p.m. games are atrocious. His stats at 1 p.m. games are fantastic.
Again, from a success, the guy has thrown. He's in the top in terms of passing yards and percentages and all that over the last whatever years. But I don't know. I think he's the greatest fleece artist of all time. Agreed. I really like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a great guy. He's a good man. But like, he's been paid so much money everywhere.
Way too much money.
And they ain't done nothing.
No. But hey, dude, go for it, man.
All the power to you. So you take dub loss at Vikings.
I think dub. I don't trust Kirk Cousins in crunch time.
Love you. That's fantastic. Okay, then we got I think it was Bills home.
Tough.
Very tough. Bills are the pick right now for the Super Bowl.
I know.
December game. Will be cold.
But
could snow. Unlikely.
Unlikely that at that time of the year.
Home Bills.
Let's call it an L just for the haters to call it an
L. At Cardinals. Oof.
Is he going to be playing Call of Duty or not? That is the question.
I don't know. He's probably listen. 4 hours of film a week extra. 4 hours.
He might be elite after that. With that addition of 4 hours, he might become elite. I think that's a W.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't like Clinton. Kingsbury to me is not an NFL coach.
No. At the Raiders.
Yeah.
Going back to face face Mr. McDaniels.
Mr. McDaniels, and just a beautiful stadium to get a win in. That stadium is just a
Oh,
treat.
yeah. It's a treat. Yeah, that's a West Coast stadium. That thank you, taxpayers of Las Vegas. Home against the Bengals. Joey B and the
Ooh.
boys.
Joey B and the boys.
Joey B, who just had what did he just have? Like an appendectomy?
Oh, I don't know. Did he?
He just had a surgery. He was been out of camp for the last 4 days or something.
Oh, R.I.P. Joey Burrows. Hope you're doing well.
I think he's all right.
All right, good. That's tough, but they've got to have some injuries at that point in the year. I could see us rolling.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Are you taking the dub against the Bengals?
I could see that going either way, but we're at 9 wins, and I think we've got 10. So I'm
Tim's
rolling.
feeling good. All right, then we have Dolphins home January 1st.
See, that I don't have faith in.
Hate that game.
Worst game of the year.
But it's not in Miami. It's not in Miami.
It's okay. I think I got to call an L, unfortunately.
All right, calling out. Last game of the year in Buffalo, January 8th. Oh, cold.
Cold. If it's a revenge game and they lose the first one, I call W. If it's a straight up, that could be a 2. That could be a 2L in division. Not
so right now you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow. 12-5.
12-5. Damn.
It's a good record.
12-5? Are you kidding me?
Good record.
12-5, and that's winning the division.
Yeah, true.
If you split it between Buffalo, then you're going to other common opponents.
So even 2 of those that I was shaky on, we'd call those 2 losses. We're still at 10 wins. We're at 10 and 7.
10 wins, and you still have an extra one. You could still lose another one of those games. Because I think, realistically, they could lose to the Colts. Certainly you could drop one of the divisional games because, you never know.
Shit happens.
I don't think the Jets could be there. They could lose to the Raiders. There's another one right there. But I still think they have more than that.
I do too. Just coaching. The NFL coaching matters so much. People don't think it does, but it does.
I think people are crazy.
I know. All you need to know that coaching works is Dante Scarnicchia, the Pats offensive line coach, retired for a year. Their offensive line was dog shit. And then he came out of retirement and they destroyed defensive line the next
superhuman. 100%. Totally the truth.
So
totally the truth. I agree. I like it. 12-5. Go Pats. Each week we're probably going to start bringing in a little bit of football stuff, talk a little bit of football, a little bit of, see if Deshaun Watson's not playing, or, oh my gosh, did you see it was last Thursday, the National Massage Convention was next door to the Brown Stadium.
Yes.
It was probably the highlight of my week. They had all these GIFs and memes and videos come out of Deshaun Watson hears that it's next door, and people just running and cars flying by. Be like, let me in. It's phenomenal.
That's just how you know there's a higher power somewhere. That's just
for sure.
That is just absolutely perfect.
It's God's hand reaching down, being like, laugh, thy children.
Yes.
Oh, dude, so good. So good. I love it. I'm about it. All right, so we've talked a little golf, a little bit of football. Let's get into a little science, because we're golf science people, performance folks, right?
We are.
Exciting stuff. My dog's choking on hair or something. Everybody's okay. So, not a hair across my ass recently, but something that I've been dealing with a lot recently. And Tim, you and I talked about this a little bit before we got on air today.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of people that are just going directly into speed training. SuperSpeeds, they've got the Sasho stack system, which I've been using, which I really like. As an aside statement, we can talk about that later. But a lot of people are just going directly to those immediately and just starting to swing really hard. Or they're taking their own clubs and just swinging as fast as they can. And I could not disparage people doing that more. Because all I've seen recently are low back strains, kind of oblique type, lateral strains. I've seen a couple shoulders recently, and they've literally all been around speed training. And it's driving me crazy. So I feel like we need to address why that's not a good idea, and B, what a good idea is.
I like it. Have you seen Dr. Kwan at all?
Yes.
So
Sure
he's
have.
excellent. All his stuff is excellent. This is not a fault of him. This is a fault of one of our clients that was being stupid in the moment. So
Naturally.
he does a drill with a rope. Have you seen that? Where he like
Hmm.
swings a rope, you swing it back, and it slaps you across the back essentially, and then you
Yeah.
swing it through.
Swing it through. Yeah.
We had a guy who did it with a knot on the end of it, like a big old knot, and he came in. He's like, "Yeah, I got to stop doing that. It's kill. I think I hurt my back." I go, "Oh, lift your shirt up. Let me see." The guy had a bruise this big on his back.
Oh
He was
my
like,
God.
what do you call that? I want to say flagellate or whatever. What do the monks do when they hit each other with nails?
Oh yes, 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 yes,
Hey,
yes,
he was
yes.
just beating himself over the back with a heavy rope. I was like, dude, you got a bruise. That's why it hurts.
It's a bad idea.
Bad idea. Come on, people.
It's not quality. It's just bad. It's just bad decisions all the way around. Shout out Dr. Kwan.
Yeah, legend of the game.
Legend of the game. Legend of the game. But so one of the reasons that we try to get people to not start with speed work. Okay. The example that I like to give is if I had an F-16 and my goal was to make that thing go at a certain speed, right? So my F-16 has to be able to go X miles per hour. I have to build the components of that F-16, the metals, the alloys, the wing shapes, the weights, all of that has to be built to handle the speed that I need it to go, right? So if I need it to go really fast, I better have materials that allow it to maintain stability while it's going fast. The problem is that in golf or in human beings, that those components are strength. Strength is the foundation that allows us to produce force and keep it stable. When you don't have that foundation of good strength, enough mobility, and that solid foundation, and then I ask that unsolid foundation to produce violent levels of force repeatedly, mind you, it makes complete sense that an injury is going to occur. You're asking muscles to go to a point that they can't tolerate. They're stressed to a point they can't tolerate. And thus, they get to a point of breakdown. And that's when an injury can take place. So it's not that we don't want people to do speed training. It's the fact of the matter that their body is physically just incapable of handling the violence that we're asking them to, especially because most of these people you're talking about a club head speed with their driver at 78 to 85 miles an hour. They're not mega fast people from the get.
No.
But then all of a sudden we're like, hey, swing really, really hard.
Right. And the majority of people I've seen, that what we're talking about in with the soreness popping up and strains and things, these are older people too. So like you've got some elements of arthritis, wherever in your back, in your hips, in your knees, in your shoulders. Maybe you haven't worked out as much in the last 20 years. So you're, like you said, your muscles can't handle the force. But also like you've got some arthritic joints. You've got like your muscles are going to be pulling on your bones like in ways that they're not used to. And if
Yeah.
you're not handling that force, you could be just going into ranges of motion that you haven't been in God knows how long, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's just like it's a tough situation.
Well, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. I get why people are doing it. Listen, everyone is chasing distance and lowering scores. And I get that people want to do that. Like everybody that I talk to, the number one thing they say is, I want to hit the ball further. I very rarely
Yeah.
do I hear people say, I want to lower my scores. They just say, I want to hit the ball further.
Mhm.
I'm tired of being outdriven by my friends, which is one of the things that we do for people is help them hit the ball further. But there is a methodical way, there's a periodized way to create that. And it's not just swinging fast. Like if you guys are using SuperSpeeds or the stack system or any of that stuff, it's also, I had a client not too long ago that went and wanted to try a new driver, right? Stealth just came out. They're like, I'm going for it. So they go to the range at the club and there's the rep that's there and they're like, hey, let's try this. Let's tweak this, blah, blah, blah. Well, naturally, they've got the monitor out there, TrackMan's out there. It's telling them what their club head speed is. And they're constantly trying to beat it with a new driver that they've swung 30 to 50 times in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just the fact of the matter is A, volume, but B, that you're trying to swing really, really hard. So it's not just when we're using implements to swing faster. It's also when you're just taking your own equipment or new equipment and swinging too hard over a period of time.
Right. And if you listen to like Matt Fitzpatrick talk about his improvements, because he's using
Yeah.
the stack system,
Yeah.
um, he talks about it as his max swing speed increased, but he doesn't swing max on the course.
Mm-mm.
Like that's where it gets confusing too. Is we're not just trying to make it so that you swing your driver 90 currently when you're giving it your all, and then
Right.
in 6 weeks you're swinging 100, giving it your all. We're trying to make your ceiling higher so that you can now swing a little bit faster, but it still feels comfortable. It still
Feels the
feels in
same.
rhythm. Still feels
Yeah.
in sync. It's just a little bit faster now.
Yeah. Basically, we're just trying to give you a bigger engine. You're still
Exactly.
only going to use 80% of that engine. But
Correct.
when I've got a V12 versus a V8, I'm able to use more of that engine. So the ultimate goal is that we're basically just giving you a better engine, and then you're able to just utilize the same percentage of that, but it's a higher, amount of horses because it's a bigger engine. That's it. But in order to do that, you have to start with some kind of strength foundation. This doesn't take forever, right? So,
No.
Tim, for me, it depends on the athlete. If you're taking someone that's a novice, right? So let's say this. Let's say 60-year-old guy comes to you, pretty avid golfer, plays maybe 3 times a week, 5 times a week, a little bit of exercise here and there, inconsistently, hitting around, we'll say 84 miles per hour with his club head speed, wants to start doing some kind of speed work. What would be your initial, 6 to 8 week recommendation for him?
For speed work, I'm probably holding speed work until like I'd say probably week 4,
Yeah.
depending on the person. Especially if they're new to lifting weights, they're new to speed training.
Yeah.
I want at least a good 3 or 4 weeks of solid strength and conditioning foundation before we're really moving aggressively and fast. I don't
Yeah.
know. What are your thoughts there?
I'd be about the same. And we're speaking in generalities. Let's
Okay.
be first with that. If someone is an athlete that has been doing stuff already, they've been swinging hard, or they've been doing some kind of med ball slam work, or some kind of power development work, we can start swinging fast pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right? There's really no reason for us to stop there. But for someone that hasn't been doing that, which is the majority of people, to be honest, I usually like at least a 4 to 6 week buffer where all we're doing is building strength. Now, for me, I would say at week 4, that doesn't mean we're going to start swinging your club head faster at week 4. We just might start doing med ball slam work, rotational slam work, banded power work, things that are producing force quickly, but not things that are necessarily done with your club head yet. I really
Correct.
like for the body to get used to producing force quickly, and then we can start working on things like doing it with your club head.
Right. And let's be clear, that doesn't mean your entire workout is going to be doing things that are power and speed focused.
No,
It's
it's
maybe
probably
one
the smallest
usually.
percentage.
Yeah, I'm talking usually one, because I tend to give people like 3 or 4 exercise circuits to do. I'm talking maybe one each circuit at the most. Usually just one in one of the circuits.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because doing power work when fatigued is of no use to you.
No.
You're not able to use your entire engine the way that we want. Yeah,
Right.
usually I like, if you're going to do a strictly power workout, that's like with like the stack system or super speeds or what have you. Those are short as well. That's 15 to 20 minutes. You're getting in, you're getting out, and it's violent, and that's the end of it. You recover for 48 to 72 hours, and that's all there is to it. Um, but yeah, and then once you start getting into doing speed work, then we start plugging that into your program as a whole. I go, hey, we're going to do 15 to 20 sessions of club head speed specific work, right? Where you're swinging the club head faster, what have you, across time. But we're also programming your strength work to mimic that a little bit. That might be a phase where we, decrease the amount of volume that we're doing in the gym, right? Just allowing a little bit better time to recover, right? I'm not going to add all this extra speed work and add a bunch of extra volume on your legs that you just don't need, right? So that you do need to there is an intelligent way to approach that, which is why having a coach is so handy, because it's somebody that can be like, hey, probably not a good idea for you to take 50 extra swings a week, or 40 extra swings, or 80 extra swings a week at full speed, and then continue to play 4 rounds of golf, be in the gym 4 days. Like there's there's a give and take there.
100%. And especially when you have seasons like we do up here, when you're in Florida, it's a little different just because you can play year round.
Play year round, yeah.
But when you have seasons up here, I've done this myself starting last year, and then I've started doing it with a lot of our clients because I noticed them talking about the same thing. But if I do super speed stuff in season, I end up over swinging when I'm on the course.
Yeah.
It's just I only do it in the off season, and I really only do it like December, January, and that's it. I usually do like an 8-week block.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep some other, like I keep, hops, slams, that sort of stuff in year round. But the actual swinging as fast as you can, I really don't like when you're playing a lot of golf, especially when you have like tournament golf.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you've had any of the same experience, but
well, it's the same way that I look at like the motor control. So the same reason why I don't like having lifts that look like the golf swing. I don't want to change the motor control or the motor pattern of the golf swing. Right? There's a certain point where like if I swing a sledgehammer versus swinging a golf club, but I try to swing it like a golf, I just can't. I have to change the biomechanics of my body to produce a swing. And that isn't a beneficial thing to me as a golfer. So one of the other things is not always trying to produce high level speed, but gradual. That's why having some kind of monitor gives you a good feeling. Like, hey, swing at your normal speed like you would competition golf, 90 miles an hour. Okay, give it just a little bit more, 91 miles an hour. And then we go from 90 miles an hour in week 1 to 92 miles an hour in week 4. Well, that 2 miles an hour right there is anywhere from 6 to 9 yards of extra distance?
Yeah.
Like 3 to 4 yards per mile per hour. So on the low end, 6 yards, 5 yards. That can make a difference in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Right. That ends up being, especially when you start, usually when I look at golfers, my golfers anyways, when they are gaining distance, I like looking at it in terms of clubs gained. Mm-hmm. Right. So like instead of you having to use my 9-iron now, I'm hitting my pitching wedge.
Right.
Well, you might be a whole lot better with those wedges than you are with higher irons, especially on par 5s where you're, scoring a little bit better. But do you follow Decade Golf at all?
No.
Oh, dude, Decade Golf is awesome. I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, but I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. And so he was talking about, do you know the difference between a 94 and a 79?
Other than 15 strokes?
Right. But where are those strokes coming from?
Where are those 15 strokes coming from? I would say probably around the green, like missing the green on your second shot and cleaning up around there.
So 1 birdie. Okay. Only difference between a 79 and a 94. And 14 to 15 bogeys.
Yeah.
So when he has like a list of like the top 3 things to remember, and one of them was, it's not about making birdies, it's about avoiding bogeys.
Yeah.
And it was, but that's a nice thing mentally for people. Like I started thinking about that, like, hey, I don't need to birdie this hole. I just need to try to avoid a bogey or avoid the double bogey or what have you, which let me tell you something. I'm going to soapbox real quick. Got me upset. So we played at the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club last week. Client took me out. And it was the 13th or 14th hole. First time I've ever played there. Bunkers to the left, water to the left of that. Par 3, 100 and I think it was 121 yards. So I had my 52 in my hand. Wind right to left, hit my shot, hit a draw, and the wind started pulling it a little bit. Well, I was heading towards this huge bunker, right? Massive bunker. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I get that bunker, it'll roll down. It'll be a tough bunker shot, but I'll have a shot.
Yeah.
Well, it hits the very corner where the grass and the bunker meet. And there must have been a bulkhead there because it sounded like it hit concrete. Ball hits, it goes boing, 100 feet into the water. And at that point, I had like, I'd hit 2 pars in a row. I was like, man, I'm feeling good. Like, I like this. This is a shorter par 3. I got some green to work with. Went into the water, and I was just like,
screw this.
Golf gods just like pummel my head into the ground.
Yep. They know how to keep you in check, man.
Yeah. Then the next shot, I put it into the bunker behind the green. Had to hit that twice.
There you go.
Couldn't get out. I think I ended up 7ing that par 3.
Yeah.
I just
And there goes the 79.
Yeah. 79 wasn't going to happen from the get. But, oh, man, I keep thinking to myself, like, golf is just such a hard sport and such a humbling sport. It's one of the reasons I love it so much is because it just hits you in the face every time.
There are unlimited scenarios on the same golf course. You know, when you think about wind, temperature, pin position, every tee position, everything. Unlimited options.
Stress.
Yeah.
How you're feeling that day, all of it plays a role. That's one of the other things. That guy on Decade Golf, I love how he describes your shot pattern, like dispersion patterns. He calls it a shotgun blast. And so the way you should always look at every shot is and he was showing like PGA Tour players, and he had some guy, and at 200 yards, it was like a 50-yard left to right dispersion rate and like a 30-yard up and down dispersion rate. And so he was showing, like, if all I did was take the pin and move it over here in the shotgun pattern, that would have been a birdie for you. But because it was over here in your shotgun pattern, it wasn't that day. He was like, so it's not necessarily that you're being unlucky. It's the fact that just in any given golf shot, it's natural for you to be that far left or that far right. There's going to be like 50% of your shots are going to be this far right and this far left.
Right.
And I just kept thinking, so now every time I play, if I hit a shot and I'm like, oh, that was really far left, but it's inside of my shotgun pattern.
Yeah.
Like that'd be the corner of my spray. So you know what? I can live with that.
Yeah.
And I can make a play from there. Right. So if you can stay within your shotgun pattern, it's aim small, miss small still, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But even if you miss a little further left or right, that's within the normalcy of my shot pattern.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be upset about the fact that that's normal.
Yeah. I've been using, I heard Harry Higgs talking about field goals, just kicking field goals on the golf course. So you pick your boundary of where it's kind of similar where it's like, I don't think I like the shotgun spray, but I just pick your field goal. If you hit your field goal, cool. If you don't, it's like, okay, I didn't hit my field goal, but whatever.
Not everybody's Adam Vinatieri.
Exactly.
Legend. Anyways. So moral of the story, don't swing your damn club so damn fast. Damn it.
We still like swinging fast.
Yes.
Use guidance. Don't just go cold turkey, bananas, ham.
Don't go ham. Also, as you age, the most important thing that you can do is power work. Doesn't mean you have to swing a golf club. You should be slamming medicine balls. You should be throwing medicine balls. You should be moving bands quickly. We lose the ability to produce force quickly as we age, quicker than anything else. So it is vital that we continue to do that. You're just trying to move something quickly. Even if it looks like it's slow, but you are trying to move it quickly, your power is improving.
Yes, and that's going to help you stop a fall if you happen to fall. So don't fall.
I like it when Tim puts the finger up. That's going to stop a fall.
Don't you dare.
That's all I do with my dogs all the time. It's like I'm pointing at them like, oh, I'm going to sell you. I wouldn't do it. All right, so let's talk some golf strong bets here. It's that time. So we're going to start throwing in the end of every week, 3 bets each. Right now, we're going to keep the same bet we're going to make. We might pick some different people. I don't know what Tim's betting. We have the board.
The big board.
Woo,
for those of you watching at home.
Big board, Tim Jackson. So our 3 bets this weekend specifically for the FedEx. We're going to pick top 30, make the cut, and then top finish between Will Zalatoris, Cameron Young. Top 30 pick. Give it to me.
I'm going to have to be careful with this because I misaligned a little bit and I don't want to give away my second one. I am going Tony Finau.
Woo!
He won last year. He's on a heater. He's minus 195, so he's close to our – or 175. 175. He's close to our line of 200.
He's close to our lines. Okay. I like that. Finau, I looked at. But I'm going to have to up you. I want Sammy Burns.
Oh, my goodness.
Sammy Burns at minus 120.
All right, hold on. I need to find my dry erase marker. I put it away.
You need to mark it. This thing needs to be hung on the wall. This thing needs to be hung on the wall.
It does.
We need an official place for it.
I got stickies behind me. All right.
Yeah,
All right. So should I wait for the make the? I'm gonna wait for the make the cut thing. All right. Sam Burns. Interesting.
Sammy Burns.
Pick.
I want Sammy Burns at 120 to make the top 30. I think he's going to be hot. I like Sam Burns. I also love cheering for the kid because he's a Texas boy. He's fun to cheer for.
He is.
I like
him.
Is. I like him. Big fan of Scott. Him and Scotty are best friends now.
It's true. All of the golf articles are saying he is not the guy to pick. He's having putter woes. He's not going to make the cut.
I think he loves that. I think he's just like, come on. No one expects me to be good this week, and I'm just going low.
And he's just
going low. He's in Memphis. He's in the South.
That's it. LSU, Texas boy.
Ooh. Give me Sammy Burns at -120. I liked it. Okay. Make the cut. Okay, so I took all my bets are off of Barstool.
I did too, and they only had down to like
there's only a few, right?
There are only a few.
There's not a lot of folks here, a lot of dog bets. But who'd you go with? Who's your make the cut?
I'm having a hard time because
or like don't make the cut. Either way.
I know. I was looking at don't make the cut. So my don't make the cut is Sam Burns at +240.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna dance on your grave right now. I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
I know. On this, I've got Adam Scott to make the cut.
Oh my god!
Scotty to make the cut.
Oh god, it's a terrible pick. Sam Burns is going to hurt you this weekend. Hurt you.
Yes.
It's gonna hurt.
He is.
It's gonna hurt.
Kill me.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's okay. I'm all right with it. So my don't make the cut, and this also doesn't hurt me at all because I just don't care, is Aaron Wise.
Yeah, fair.
Aaron Wise, he's what? +180 not to make it. Safe. It's just a safe bet.
It's safe.
It's a safe bet. I'm okay with it.
I don't even know how to spell his name. I just wrote 3 A's. I had to erase one with my finger.
Triple A.
Triple A.
Aaron Wise, you are officially Triple A, and I just don't believe in you this weekend. So
don't take it personally. It's just
don't take it personally, but I hope you suck.
Do better.
All right. So there's that. Last bet. Head-to-head, best finish. Will Zalatoris at -134 or Cam Young at +105. Fabulous bet. Fabulous bet. Very difficult. Cam Young's been hot. Zalatoris has also been hot, but that putter.
I know. It's not been good.
Start kicking it. Tap it with the toe.
The thing that's crazy is the long ones are good.
Oh, yeah. Well, when he beat Scheffler from friggin' off the green 30 feet, you're like, are you joking? Like you missed like a 4-foot putt 4 holes ago.
I know.
Yeah,
so that's like the scary thing with him because I was reading his ball striking's through the roof, obviously.
Yeah,
like everyone knows that.
Great ball striking.
This course rewards that. But if he's crushing and sticking them tight, he could miss those putts. I want him like 30 feet from the cup. I don't want him throwing darts.
Fringe, doing some weird chipping, like what Spieth used to do, where he'd be in the worst position possible. He'd find a way to like birdie out from the bunker.
Yeah, you just know he's going to make it. So
I agree. Who are you taking?
Well, I think I got to go Willie Z.
Oh, man, we're at odds this week. Give me Cam.
Give you Cam? Why do you like him?
Why?
Let's hear
Several things. A, beautiful beard. Anybody's got a beard? I'm sold on you. I think he played unbelievable at the Open, which is also a very long course that he hit the ball. And the dude crushes the golf ball.
Yeah.
Crushes it.
Fact.
If he can stay consistent, stay in some fairways, I think he's actually very dangerous. I'm going to be cheering for him. I like him. I like Zalatoris. all right. But
I'm just nervous. Cam Young had a couple of holes at St. Andrews. Like the last few, he pulled it together. Couple in the middle where driver got a little squirrely.
he does. He has some fall apart holes.
Yeah. So
But let's not act like Cam Smith didn't either. Because did you know that I put my money on Cam to win the Open?
I think you had told me that. I think so.
Yeah. So Saturday, when homeboy hit the ball into the bushes and it's like sitting there and he like chokes up on his club and it's like baseball swing. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He hits it and then it just goes into the next set of bushes. Dude, I had to mute the TV and walk away. I was ready to fly to Scotland and rip him off the course. And he lives down the street from me. I was going to be at the house when he got home. I was like, you lost your mind. What are you doing? He came back. He justified it. So everybody has some holes where they do some stupid things. I just need Cam Young not to do that this weekend.
Sounds good to me. Hey, that's why you play the weekend, right?
That's why we don't do 54 holes.
That's right.
Live. Figure it out. Until then,
well,
it's about it.
You are my enemy this weekend. So I guess
Seriously,
we will touch base next week and see who's alive.
Sammy Burns. I can feel it. I'm going 3-0 this weekend. I can feel it. It's going to be 3-0.
Honestly,
and Tim's going over.
Honestly, you could.
I could. I could see Sammy making it, but I could also go 0-3, and you and I aren't going to speak next week, so it's all good.
It's true. Or we both go 0-3, and we're just schmucks.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
No.
I don't like that at all. In the meantime, as always, appreciate y'all listening. Follow us on the socials, Jackson.golfstrong, Tim.golfstrong. That's about it. Next week, we'll talk about some stuff. Football season will continue to be upon us. Hopefully, we'll have some more clarification on all this live nonsense. Tim, any other fun weekend plans?
No. I played a lot of golf last weekend. I won $150, so I'm a happy man. Diapers. Fun fact. Finger up. Have not purchased diapers since the baby was born.
Oh, you had a little diaper party? People brought you all the diapers?
So they get, you have your shower. Everyone gives you diapers.
Yeah.
When they're too small, you just trade them in at like Target, and they give you the next size. So just living off the fat of the lamb for 10 months now.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And shoot, you're going to be heading towards potty training here.
Hell yeah. So fuck, I might never buy diapers.
And by potty training, I mean you've still got a couple of years. But
we're working
Baby Bob is next level intelligent. He's baby genius.
Watch out.
I got faith, man. I got faith in him. Just like he's going to start like walking, just go right over to the toilet, like hop himself up. Abba gabba 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 gabba. Abba gabba gabba. Start peeing. You'd be like, it's my man. It's my man. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't do that just like around the house. Like,
true. And especially when his mother's home. If I'm home, I'll deal with it. If she's home, we're both in trouble.
Well, if you're home, it never happened.
Correct.
Mama's home, whole neighborhood's gonna know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty terrific. Well, if that happens, please take a video. I'd love to laugh at your expense.
Absolutely. It'll be recorded. Don't worry.
Oh, 100%. He's peeing. All right, people. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend. Sammy Burns, don't screw me over. And Aaron Wise, I hope you suck.
I do too.
God bless him.
Peace.